Hey guys, TheAirsoftTech here, and welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a real quick episode of 5-Minute Tech Tips. So in this episode of 5-Minute Tech Tips, we're going to be talking about selector switches. The actual physical switch, not the selector plate. Now, recently I've been working on this GMP M4 DSG build. It's got the retro arms, split gearbox shell in it, really nice, BTC Spectre Mark II, all kinds of cool stuff in it. It's a really nice build. But we've also got some external retro arms parts, like their bolt release catch here, and then a selector switch and a trigger, all in a nice silver tone. It looks really cool. But one of the things that upsets me about retro arm selector switches here, and a lot of aftermarket upgrade selector switches, is that they don't come with the small spring or the little ball bearing required to kind of get these selector switches to work perfectly. So today I'm going to show you how you can locate those parts and fix that problem. So as I was saying, these retro arms selector switches are really cool. They're neat, they're well built, they make your gun look really cool, and when you get the whole matching set, it's really cool. The problem with it is that they don't really send you a ball bearing or a spring to give it that satisfactory click. If you don't have those two pieces, then you're kind of left with a selector switch that's just loose and kind of wobbles all over the place, and your gun can actually kind of change from safe to semi or semi to safe as you're firing it, just because it's so loose and it kind of knocks that selector plate forward. So, and I mean, honestly, who doesn't like a nice and solid selector switch? So these parts are actually fairly easy to source. They're not difficult at all to find. As a matter of fact, you probably, if you've been teching for any length of time, you probably have about 5 or 6 of them just in your parts bin. So first and foremost, you can get this bearing out of these piston bearings here. You just pop one of those little bearings out and boom, you've got the bearing that you need. Those are just, they come on upgrade piston heads. Sometimes they come stock on guns. Like I said, if you've been working for any length of time in the field of airsoft, you probably have a couple dozen of them. As a matter of fact, I have a bunch just sitting in a parts bin over here. So that'll pretty much have me covered forever for these selector switches that I occasionally replace. Next thing is you're going to need a spring, and a very tiny spring at that. Now, those can be a little bit harder to find, but again, if you've been working in airsoft teching for any length of time, you probably have at least a couple. And those can be found in cutoff lever springs. Now, these cutoff lever springs tend to be a little too long to actually work on their own, so you do have to actually cut them in half, or maybe cut them down by 2/3 to get them to fit properly, and that's what I had to do to get this to work. But once you do that, it works great. These springs fit perfectly into the little hole in the back of the selector switch, and like I said, you might need to cut a quarter off of that, and that could be the spring that you need to get that nice and good clicking sound. So that's how I source these parts. That's how I fix this problem. It's super duper annoying that a lot of these manufacturers don't include those two simple parts, and they kind of leave you to source them on your own. But yeah, super simple solution, super simple job, and it works great. That was probably the fastest 5-minute tech tips video I have ever made. We could actually call that less than 5-minute tech tips. I know it's a really simple concept. It's not a fantastic video, but it's something that I did the other day that I've been doing for quite some time that I've actually never seen anybody talk about. So I wanted to talk about it, and I want to show you guys how to do it. So thank you guys very much for watching. If you wouldn't mind, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me if I'm not the only one doing this, because I'm certain there are other people out there that have been doing this exact same way. So drop your comment down below and tell me all about it. But that's going to have to do it for this video. I will see you guys in the next one. But until then, stay tuned, techs.